Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Malinga Sise of Urban Harvest Organic Farm. For all of you who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am so grateful. And for those who are still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I will be so grateful. Today, I want to talk to a beginner out there who has never tried out poultry farming and is yet deciding. First of all, you've already identified the breed you want to do. Secondly, now, which system are you going to use to raise these birds? Do you want the deep litter system? Do you want the battery cage system? Do you want the free range system? All these systems are good, and all of them also have their disadvantages. For me here, I have the free range system for the local birds. Then I also have the deep litter system for the layers. But honestly, they all have their own advantages and disadvantages. So by the end of this video, we shall all be in position to decide which system we are going in for. So for today, stay tuned till the end and I'll be right back. So as I told you earlier on, today I want us to look at all the systems that we use in poultry farming. And I'm majorly going to talk about two systems. That is the deep litter system and the battery cage system. Because I want to talk to someone out there who wants either to do the broiler farming or layer farming. And someone out there might wonder, Sisa is in a small piece of land, but she's doing the deep litter system, and yet if she was using the battery cage system, she would have very many number of birds compared to the deep litter system. But I want to tell you that all these systems have their own advantages and disadvantages. That's why I said by the end of this video, you're going to be in position to decide which one you're going for. So let us start with the battery cage system. The advantages of battery cage system, number one, is that first of all, you can be able to do very many number of birds in a small piece of land. So for those who have small pieces of land, you can go in for battery cage system because a small house can accommodate so many birds. That is one of the advantage of the battery cage system. And then another advantage is that even if you're not around, you can easily manage that project because workers normally don't get in contact with the birds. You know, when workers are getting in contact with the birds, cases can come that sometimes they will step on the birds. Then also disease outbreak is so rampant. But here in the battery cage system, birds are confined and caged inside the wires, whereby the workers, when they go to give feed, they don't even touch the birds. So that is also very, very good for this project. And then another advantage with the battery cage system is that during time for eggs, when the birds start laying eggs, you don't get so many damages because these birds don't even touch on their eggs. They just lay eggs and the eggs roll the other side and someone picks it from the other side. So it is very, very good because damages of eggs is limited. Actually, even the time for picking eggs, you can even give the birds feeds in the morning and you end up picking the eggs the next day. It is really a very good system. And then also with the battery cage system, disease outbreak is not so rampant. And even the spread of disease is not too much compared to the deep litter system. Because these birds normally get diseases by stepping on their friends' droppings, but with the battery cage system, the birds drop their waste and it goes down. It is not accumulated where they are staying. So that is also another advantage of the battery cage system. And then with the battery cage system, water is always there full time for the birds because, as you know, there is always a tank outside which supplies water for the birds. So you'll find in most cases, birds in the battery cage system might end up performing far, far better than birds in the deep litter system. So that is also another advantage. And then another advantage of the battery cage system is that feeds are not so much wastage in this system, because when you go to giving birds, we go to give birds feeds, now when it's in a deep litter system, you'll find all the birds will come on you, you'll end up pouring some feeds down, then when they're feeding they end up scattering feeds around. But that is not the case with the battery cage system. So that makes battery cage system a very good system for you to go in for. And then with a battery cage system, you'll find that it is also very easy for you to manage compared to the deep litter system. So for those who want to do this work as part-time, you can go in for the battery cage system. And then this same battery cage system also has some disadvantages which might limit you from going in for it. Number one disadvantage of the battery cage system is that those cages are not cheap. So someone out there who do not have enough capital, you will not be able to afford purchasing these cages. They are very, very expensive to purchase, very expensive to install. Okay, normally they tell you when you purchase from us, we are coming to install for you for free. But remember, you have to have a water source, which they have to connect to the poultry house. So if you don't have a water source in a way that you just fetch water from out, it becomes somehow tricky. So that is one disadvantage with this system. It is a very expensive system. From the time go, it is very expensive. And then the waste management is a problem. Guys, I've told you before that the droppings from the battery cage system, most farmers don't want to buy it. Most farmers don't want to buy manures which are from battery cage systems. Just even you can see in my farm, I showed you last time when I was removing the manure because it was so caked. Up to now, they haven't yet bought this manure because of it being so caked, it being so wet. So with the battery cage system, those are some of the challenges you'll have to deal with. Now, if you're in an urban area, how will you manage this waste and you don't have a big chunk of land where maybe you've gazetted a particular area for putting this waste? So that is also another challenge that is there with the battery cage system. With the battery cage system, the birds do not have freedom to move around. Guys, these are birds. They also have feelings. You get, they also have to move around, they have to, do exercise. But with the battery cage system, these birds don't do exercise, of which it might lead to swellings in their feet. At the end, the production might be low. So that is another disadvantage of the battery cage system. Another disadvantage of the battery cage system is that the birds are always stressed, because since they are confined and caged there, they are not given the chance to get out. You will find that in most cases, these birds will be very, very stressed. And when birds are stressed, sometimes they will end up not feeding well. They will end up not even performing well. So that is also another disadvantage with the battery cage system. Then another disadvantage with the battery cage system, if you don't measure their feeds well, these birds might end up being so overweight, and they end up not laying eggs. Because with the layers, they have particular amount of feed they're supposed to consume in a day. Actually, every day of their life. Like from the time go, you bring them, you have to be measuring their feeds. Now, if you're not there and the workers are lazy, they just give feeds the way they want, you'll find that some birds will become overweight, and for the layers, they'll end up not performing well, they'll end up not laying eggs. So that is another disadvantage which I have with the battery cage system. So, but for someone out there, it is upon you to decide if you want the battery cage system or you want the deep litter system. So now let us go and see some of the advantages of the deep litter system which I am using currently at my farm. Now, number one advantage is that the birds do not get overweight at the farm, because the birds have the freedom to move around, and we say 4 birds in 1 square meter that when you consider that, you will find that there's a lot of space for your birds to move around and do a lot of exercise. So you'll find that birds in the deep litter system can end up performing far more better than birds in the battery cage system, because we have all seen at my farm here. Yesterday we collected eggs. We saw how many eggs were there, and here Sister is using the deep litter system. So that is why it is also very good for the project. And then another advantage is that this is, I think, one of the cheapest system you can use, because you will not spend money in buying these cages. So if someone who have a lot of land, you can use the deep litter system, because it is not expensive for you to start. It is very cheap for you to start this system. So that is also another advantage of the deep litter system. And then another advantage of the deep litter system is that birds are always not stressed, because they are able to move around, they're able to feed, they're able to peck. You know, birds by nature, they keep pecking things everywhere, but which is not the case with the battery cage system. So here, birds don't get stressed, because they can move around, they can peck this, they can move, they can peck that, they can peck this. So they are never stressed. So that is why, personally, I've chosen the deep litter system. And then another advantage of the deep litter system is that birds are never overweight, because the feed that they consume, they utilize it maximally. And then another advantage of the deep litter system is that the manure from the deep litter system is easily bought by any other farmer out there. So you'll find that that is also another profit to the farm. Unlike the battery cage system, the litter is always very wet, and you will have to look for where you can dump this manure, because most farmers will not accept to buy it unless if there is a system for you to dry up this manure, of which someone who is in a small piece of land or in an urban area like me sometimes becomes very, very tricky. So with the deep litter system, the manure, you can easily sell it to any other farmer and they take it immediately. And then also it is not so stressful for the farmer, because birds are not getting swollen legs, birds are not being overweight. So you'll find that at the end of the day, with the deep litter system, if you really manage the project very well, you'll find that you can even perform far more better than the battery cage system. And then let us look at some of the disadvantages of the deep litter system. One disadvantage with the deep litter system is that whenever there is an outbreak, all the flock can end up being swept away, because these birds get diseases through stepping on their friends' droppings. So once there's an outbreak, you can end up losing the whole flock. And then another disadvantage with the deep litter system is that once you don't observe the biosecurity, you will find that birds get diseases so often, because you know birds are roaming around, and as the farmer, you're entering there, stepping there, birds are also coming to step the same place. So that is why sometimes it becomes tricky with the deep litter system. And then another disadvantage in a deep litter system is that birds come into contact with their eggs. So at the end of the day, sometimes you get so many damages, because these birds also love their eggs. So with the deep litter system, that is also another disadvantage. Then if you don't depict the birds, of course the birds will peck on the eggs. But with the battery cage system, sometimes even if you don't depict the birds, they will not peck on the eggs. And then another disadvantage with the deep litter system is that sometimes it will not be very easy for you to manage and maintain if you're never available at the farm, because as you know, some of our workers might tend to be very stubborn and very lazy, in that they don't do what you tell them. So as a farmer who is doing this project as part-time, the deep litter system sometimes becomes very, very complicated for you. Another disadvantage with the deep litter system is that there is a lot of feed wastage. You know, when you enter to give the feeds, these birds will come and pile on you. Some are jumping on your head, some are jumping on your shoulders. So you end up even wasting the feeds down. In the process of pouring the feeds in the feeders, others go down. Even the birds, when they're eating the feeds, they keep on, you know, doing it in a way that you find that the floor all has feed. So there's a lot of feed wastage in this deep litter system. And also another challenge with the deep litter system is that if the house is not well managed, you will find that there is a lot of always coccidiosis, diarrhea. So the hygiene should be very, very tight. So those are some of the comparison that I have between the deep litter system and the battery cage system. So a beginner out there, you're the one to choose which system is best for you, which system can you go in for. And for today, that is all I had for you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you're still new, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you never miss out any upload. Share this video, comment in the comment section down below, and I'll be so grateful. See you next time. Love you all. Bye-bye.